play both ends of the street you're living on. Only thing they got is fear and death and destruction.
By the year 2005, we were back in the same old fix we've always been in. A King Kong fighting Godzilla couldn't have made it worse in this bullpen. The strategic balance of the world being played by the sons of the ruling class. The leaders of both sides claim to be taking orders from God, always gets a free pass. They really believed that what they were doing would take the other down and make a better world. But fanatic is as fanatic does, and there was a lot of death they could hurl. On the one side you had armies and corporations, on the other you had a cave. One guy sitting in a bubble in a big house, the other guy writing and praying. But the wars that these two started made a scream heard around the world, causing people to lose their traction, vent their emotions up to violent action, leading to repressive reactions, requiring precision, not indecision, but religion, to make the whole thing black and white. And then we're gonna kick some ass tonight. We'll send out a posse to round them up, kill the bad guys, and the good guys will sign up. And the God who made these guys was suffering bad because of their lies. The rest of us just shook our heads in disbelief, but we had such busy lives, so we did what they said and went about our business, and somehow we all got fooled again.
These true believers are coming after you. On one side's Osama, on the other W. They play both ends of the street you're living on. Only thing they got is fear and death and destruction.
Now what we saw in that year was a tried and true tradition of taking fiction and calling it religion, of making nice about murder, destruction, and trying to pass it off as something God commands, God's instructions, like a con man taking the ring off your hand while selling it back to you as nothing you'll never understand, except he's getting creepy and making you feel very insecure, like he's watching you and listening in, thinking you're gonna make a deal with someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone else, who just might squeal about you being somewhere you shouldn't have been. And it gets more and more and more unreal till you be thinking, this ain't my country no more. This here's like a nightmare in a bottle, where the inmates run the prison and drive it like a train without a throttle, where the idiot is king and his yes men never admit what they see, that they see anything that can be called the truth, because they make their own reality out of wishes, fear, and fraud. And when the facts get in the way, they say it's all the will of God.
These true believers, they're coming after you. On one side's Osama, on the other W. They play both ends of the street you're living on. Only thing they got is fear and death and destruction.
The Osama and W were symbols of wealth gone wild, with the power to take whole worlds apart. They didn't realize what they were getting us all into, but they were both two sides of a coin that glows in the dark. Cause true believers only live to carry out God's plan, and these guys thought each other a criminal, a terrorist acting as the devil's hand. But the devil, like any good fallen angel, uses both hands to ply his trade, makes excuses for the way the plan is failing, cause the other hand is wailing on the opponents of the cause. But every hand is just a pawn in a power grab so great, it melts the heart and the nuclear hatred of the world the way it is, and of the deicide machine that taunts the powers that be and works to feed eternal war, eternal violence, and eternal greed. The true believers of this cause, those who practice death, destruction, who like junkies need to fight and kill to get their rocks off, get their thrill. They're crazy in their hearts, or simply psycho in their head and body parts. And those who treat it as a game or as a martyr purified from shame, whose lie is bigger than any infidel, who thinks he's going to heaven but is open the gates of hell, blowing yourself up to kill other folks, make your way of life into a tragic hoax. And just as bad is the cowboy brain of a wingnut fool who thinks he's so brave, he's on a mission from God to protect a way of life, addicted to stuff and continuous strife, making war while saying you're pro-life, giving the rich man more and more and more and more and more, while everybody else coughs it up or gets shown the door.
These true believers, they're coming